What's up, my boy? So this right here is Diddy. Not that Diddy. Diddy as in Diddy Kong. Because his dad is actually one of the largest rhino iguanas in the world.
Oh my gosh, look at this little monkey right here. This, of course, is Donkey Kong.
And as you can see, he is super friendly. I want to show you guys the potential that these animals have. Check this out. Come here, Papa. They absolutely love bananas. And this will actually make an excellent pet if you have the space and the time to tame them down, because later in this video, he has to try to bite me. But as you can see, I'm going to show you one that will actually try and bite me and chase me out of his cage. Oh. But for now, we're gonna start with Diddy over here. So let's get inside. See, he's trying to taste my, my shoes here, but he's not biting, he's just curious. And as we know, or as we don't know, this is a rhino iguana. And rhino iguanas are named rhino iguanas because they have these 3 little horns on top of their head right here. And as you can see, this guy is maybe about 3 years old, and he's a very, very chill animal, but it takes time to get them to be this chill. It takes time for you to be able to habituate them. I'm in here trying to feed them. He actually lives with a bunch of redfoot tortoises here, so I'm trying to get all the redfoots to come out so you guys could see them too. There's another one coming off here. I'm just gonna go ahead and feed them here. And they actually all just kind of like cohabitate and live as a one big happy family. Right? And rhino iguanas, you might be thinking like, oh, I didn't know iguanas can look like this. Usually you see the green iguanas, the ones that you see falling from trees in Florida. But this is actually a very common iguana species in the pet trade. The reason that they're so common is because they are very nice, big, and impressive. And just like this, they could be very habituated to people. If you don't have the room, if you don't live in Florida and you don't keep them outside, if you don't have the room to keep something like this, we are going to show some other iguanas in the video that you might think make great pets, because believe it or not, the green iguanas are actually the worst pet iguana that you could get. This guy here, he is a good boy. He loves scratches, he loves bananas, he loves just to be hanging around us. I think he is amazing. Look at that. And they eat banana peels. But I think what he really wants is this. So I wanted to introduce you guys to Diddy here. We got the army of redfoots coming out now. They're all super interested in the bananas as well. And because these guys are vegetarians, I mean, they will eat some insect and even rodents at times, but they don't ever mess with the tortoises. They're not like predators by any means. So they're not gonna mess with tortoises. If anything, the tortoises might try to mess with him, as you can see. Look at this. And this is one of the best parts about living in Florida and having a big space like this for these animals, is that I can come out here and, you know, just hang out with all of them. Just basically enjoy my animals here in South Florida. Really? Look, he's about to take there. Banana on my freaking chest. These lizards are so smart that whenever you're thinking of getting one and taming one down, it's very important to never like grab them violently. You know, sometimes he doesn't like me petting him in certain spots, but sometimes the best way to catch an iguana, unfortunately, especially if it's trying to run away or it's gonna get itself into trouble, is to just put hands on them, grab them by the back of the head and back here by the tail base, and to kind of manhandle them. But that really is going to affect your relationship with the iguana, because they are very smart and they do remember things like that. Whenever you're trying to tame down these animals, you want to make sure that everything you do with them is on their terms. You don't want to come in here and kind of like invade its territory and then just be very, very aggressive with them. You want to make sure that he knows that he is safe and that, you know, I am not a predator. When I'm looking at this animal here, when I'm petting him, if he were to walk away or if he really didn't want to be held right now or touched, he would just walk away. Because he is very chill and he's used to us now, I don't have to worry about him kind of like just running outside of the enclosure. This is his home. He's more interested in finding pieces of bananas than he is hanging out with me right now. But sometimes we'll just come out here and he'll just sit with us. See the curly tails? If I had some mealworms, I'd probably eat them from my hands too. Diddy here was actually an animal that I acquired secondhand from a person that bought him directly from Thai Park. And this is an offspring of Donkey Kong, which is probably the largest rhino iguana in captivity that we've known of. Unfortunately, those people couldn't take care of Diddy Kong here anymore. And I kind of named him Diddy Kong. I don't know if that was his name before. Because they couldn't take care of him and they knew that I had this space over here, they hit me up. They said, hey, we have this rhino iguana. He's pretty chill. Would you like to take him? And I've always wanted a big, tame rhino iguana, so it was a no-brainer for me because the rhino iguanas we have right now, they're just strictly breeders. When I got them, they were already about this size, if not bigger, and they weren't habituated to people. So it's not to say that they can't be tamed down, it's just I haven't really put in too much effort into trying to do so. My man here is, you know, very, very habituated, and he found a little piece of banana that was in there. Yeah, I love this guy. What are you doing? That's disgusting. The piece of banana fell in some poop and he just ate it. Yeah. He does not like me. Okay? He's not having it. All right, let's see if we can tame him down. This guy is extremely territorial, and I definitely do not want to get bit by those big jowls that he has. He has a very big mouth, strong bite, and he wants to protect his territory and his lady. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to try to make him friendly. I need this to protect myself. All right, let's see. See if we could pet him. Hey, buddy. So, rhino iguanas, like any other reptile, they're not inherently aggressive. They can be territorial, especially when you walk into their enclosure. Now, he is familiar with us, so he's not completely crazy with me right now, but there are some days that I will walk in here and he'll just straight up try to chase me out. Now, usually that could be during the breeding season, or especially if I have some fruit or some food that he really wants. But today he's being a little bit more chill. I'm gonna try to see if I could work with him a little bit to try and eventually tame him down. So I'll start off, I'm using this kind of like to block him if he decides to try to bite me. But as you can see, he does not even want me to get close to him. And he's even threatening with his mouth. Now, the female, I'm not too worried about. She is mostly afraid, so she'll kind of run away. But this guy, this is the one that I kind of have to win over if I want to be coming in here and hanging out with them. Now, as you can, he just peed his pants there a little bit. If I get around to start messing with him, what I think I'll do first is I'll start to pet him with a branch or something that you can see he's opening his mouth and he's threatening with his mouth. But what I want to do, as he's taking a poop, if you notice from that side, what I want to do is basically get him. Oh, he just tried to get me right there. So what I want to do is basically get him. Yep, see? I just want to get him used to my touch. And right now he's not having it. That's why he just tried to bite me twice. But if we're gonna be friends, I need to get you used to us, buddy. All right. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, maybe he's not having it today. I try to come in here and touch him every now and then, but it seems like today is not gonna be that day. He can be very aggressive. As you can see a little bit of a glimpse there. The female there, she's usually not aggressive at all. The only time she will get aggressive is when she lays eggs, and they will actually protect their nest whenever they lay eggs. So the female will come out here, she will basically bully the male if he gets anywhere near to her nest right here. But the interesting thing about her is that any other time, she's actually pretty skittish and afraid of him. And whenever we put food in here, he's the first to eat, and then after he's eating, then she could eat, but he doesn't let her eat before him. Very interesting dynamic here. As you can see, rhino iguanas aren't fun in games, especially if they're not habituated to people. So it's very important that if you get one of these majestic animals, you have to work with them when they're very young. If you don't, then they can end up turning like this. Now, unfortunately, I didn't raise these, so I have to work with them like this. So the bite and, you know, the damage that they could do at this size is a lot more extreme. So that's why I try to ease my way into it. Touching them, sometimes I'll come in here, I'll grab like a stick like this and try to touch them, get them used to it. And I've even come in here and when he's eating, I'll kind of pet him. But again, then we have days like this that he just doesn't want anything to do with us. If rhino iguanas aren't your thing, don't worry, I'm about to show you probably the best pet iguana you could get, the pectinata iguana. Let's go. So this right here is a banana pectinata iguana, also known as a banana spiny-tail iguana, or the yellow face of the spiny-tail iguanas. Now this, in my opinion, is the best pet iguana ever. You could see I just went in there and grabbed this iguana. Some of them can be a little sketchy, but it's because we don't really handle them. If you really put a little bit of effort into handling these guys, they actually become really, really good pets. And the best thing about them, I would say, is this size. This is an adult female. She might get a little bit thicker and wider as she gets older, but for the most part, this is as big as they get. So it's a very manageable animal, definitely smaller than some of the other lizards that we show here on the channel. This makes a good pet because you don't need a super massive enclosure if you're just keeping one as a pet. These animals are actually very easy to care for as well. They require some subtropical temperatures. You can see it just sneezed there. So it's gonna require some heat, some UVB, and their diet consists of veggies, fruits, and insects. So it's a very, very easy to keep animal. They make really good pets because they're so smart and they're so tame. Now this girl here, she is actually one of our breeders. She decided she wanted to go back home. Back here we have one of our males. You see the males actually have much bigger jowls and heads in general. And the interesting thing about these guys is that when they hatch out as babies, they're just bright, bright green, almost like a green iguana. But as they start getting older, they start losing some of that green and they start getting some of the blacks and yellows that we see right now. Now, a lot of these iguanas are still very young adults. So as they mature, they will still put on more and more yellow. So it's one of those animals that as a baby, it looks completely different than what it does as an adult. And that morphological change is really what makes these iguanas so special, in my opinion, is because you never really know what you're gonna get. Some of them have incredible yellow coloration. Some of them can be mostly black. And, you know, it's just a really, really solid looking animal. It's very hefty. It's not an easy to kill animal by any means. And as you can see, if you live in Florida, you could also keep these guys aside. So that's why these guys are probably my favorite pet iguana in the world. Let me see if I can grab the male. He's a little bit mean sometimes. So here's the male. As you can see, he is quite a bit bigger than the female. His head is definitely bigger. And you can see he's not fully comfortable with me. He's kind of like posing a little bit. He's puffing up just a tad. And at any point, he might just jump into his enclosure. Now, again, these are animals that we don't handle all the time. They are, you see, he wants to go back in, no problem. I don't want to restrain him. I don't want to make him feel like I'm a predator. So I'm just going to let him go back in his enclosure, pet him a little bit. But you could see that even for an animal that we barely even handle, they tame down very, very well. That's my reasoning for thinking that these are probably the best pet iguanas you could get. So this is an example of one of these iguanas that is mostly black. Now, as she gets older, she'll definitely put on more yellow, but it's interesting to see, you know, the morphology with these guys. They could be almost pitch black, or they could be almost fully yellow. Now, this girl is gravid, so I'm just gonna leave her in here. I'm not gonna bother her too much. I definitely don't want her taking a big fall. And as you can see, we have some lettuce there because that's a lot of their occasionally we will come out here, give her superworms or crickets, and they just gobble them up. So this last animal here is another species of spiny-tailed iguana, except this one is called a Cynosura conspicuosa, also known as the San Esteban Island spiny-tailed iguana. Now, these guys are considerably more rare than the bananas, but it's a good example to see how big some of these spiny tails can get and just how tame they can be. Now, because these guys are so smart, it's easy to tame them. Once they figure out that you're not a predator, that you're gonna give them food, you could just go out here, bring food, bananas they seem to love, or insects, and they'll just come like climb right up on your hand. Now, this guy is actually about to shed. When he's out of shed, he is a bright white and black with a really, really nice stark contrast. But right now he's not looking his best. But I have shown him on the videos here in the past on the channel, and he is just one of my favorite animals to bring out and show to people that come out here. Somebody that's scared of reptiles, maybe I'll just bring him out, show you, oh look, this is a very, very chill animal. It's not looking to harm anybody or anything. It's very curious, and he usually wins people over. Let me know which of these iguanas was your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, okay. He's not having it.